So I am literally fresh from an event that Formex held here in New York City, and I have their latest release hands-on. This is a fully ceramic version of their Essence. It has some major firsts for really any brand, and of course I always say this, they are a brand of first. I have one of these new models hands-on with the full ceramic bracelet and full ceramic clasp that gets on the fly micro adjust. I'll show you all the details in the video. So let's flip the camera and take a look at Formex's latest release, the Ceramica. So I'm pretty lucky. I live in New York, and of course I get to attend a lot of really cool events because a lot of events happen here in New York, especially when you're talking about the watch industry. And Formex, very important watch company. They make really awesome watches, but they also manufacture for other brands. I've spoken about this in other videos that I've done. This is their latest release, and they released it here in New York City. They had a release party that I attended, and I was able to bring one of these home after the party, and here we are. So I'm going to be one of the first to have this watch hands-on here on YouTube. And I'm proud of that because I've always been a fan of Formex. I'm not paid by Formex. I like to say that in the beginning here because I usually do have a lot of positive to say about Formex because they do offer a lot for the money. And this is yet another first. I've said this in other videos as well. They are a brand of firsts, and today, yet another first. This is a full ceramic watch. They really went to town with the ceramic on here. You've seen full ceramic watches from other brands. They usually are way more expensive. We'll get to price in just a few minutes, but this gets the suspension system that we are used to. However, everything is in ceramic. There are just a few components that are made out of steel and titanium. I'll go through some of those in a few seconds. Of course, you're getting a flat sapphire crystal, a skeletonized movement, which is COSC certified. That bezel is ceramic. The case is ceramic. The crown is ceramic. The case back is ceramic. You get a sapphire crystal as well. You get to see that skeletonized movement from the back as well. It is a Sellita movement. However, it has been heavily modified, and this is a very bespoke movement that I believe is used by some other brands, but they are pretty hard to come by, and they have just a few of these for these limited editions that they're coming out with in the beginning. And I think these will be a regular run of watches eventually. I'm not sure if they'll ever come out with ones with solid dials. I hope that they do because I'm kind of a fan of solid dials. I like skeletonized movements, but I really like a dial as well. So that's my personal preference. You get a full ceramic bracelet and a full ceramic clasp. Now the clasp on this watch is where that world's first comes in. This gets on the fly micro adjust that is completely made out of ceramic. There are two spring bars. I think those are made out of stainless steel. Other than that, all of the components are made out of ceramic. Now ceramic is 30% lighter than stainless steel, I believe, and it's way stronger than stainless steel and scratch resistant, way more scratch resistant than stainless steel, titanium, or really any metal. So this will look brand new forever as long as you don't drop it. Obviously, ceramic does shatter just like sapphire, so always keep that in mind. But they do make some very distinct looking watches, and again, you're getting that on-the-fly micro adjust, which they offer for every one of their watches right now. And when they decided to come out with a ceramic watch, they knew that they had to make a bracelet, and they knew that they had to put on-the-fly micro adjust. And it's really hard to do that because it's very expensive to manufacture, and the only portion of this clasp that is not ceramic is the scissor. So the scissor is made out of titanium. So this portion right here is made out of titanium. I was speaking to the owner of the brand, and basically he was telling me that in order to make this out of ceramic, it would be a lot more expensive. He also mentioned that the clasp itself is very different from what you would get on the reef, and I actually have the reef on my wrist. They designed a bespoke mechanism that fits within the clasp, and I'll take a picture of it, that is completely made out of ceramic, and you are getting the same functionality, just completely thought differently. So they thought this through completely different from what they would normally do with something like stainless steel or titanium. And they created a mechanism that fits within the clasp and gives you the exact same functionality. And they've actually added functionality to this watch. So you have a button on the inside that operates that on-the-fly micro adjust, and it's like a normal button that you would just press, and then you could pull in and pull out the micro adjust just like that. Very, very easy. But they are also giving you that button on the outside. It does the exact same thing. So you could pull it out and you could move the micro adjust in and out. And you could do that on wrist. That's kind of the point of having this clasp. So when you put it on wrist, all you need to do is push the links in, just like the reef, and it will fit to your wrist. So when I put the reef on, I have the reef on my wrist like I was mentioning before, I loosen it up and then I tighten it up when I put it on my wrist. So really it's a different size every day. And that's kind of the point of a clasp like this. It's a bespoke fit clasp every single day. That is awesome. And there are very few watches that offer that. Also, you do get that suspension system right here, which again adds a lot of comfort. I believe the springs that are inside of this case, so it's basically, I think it's a 2 or 3 piece case. You have that shroud, then you have the main piece of the case, the center case, and then you have the case back. But when you see that, you move that up and down. There's springs in there, so those are made out of steel. So obviously another steel component, or titanium in the bracelet and steel in those pushers, and then you have some steel springs in here, and then you have pin and collar system. Those are in, I think it's a friction pin system, and those are in stainless steel. So yes, there are some steel components in here, but very, very few. Like I was mentioning before, this is a skeletonized movement. Obviously, you could see that very nicely finished. It's darkened, and you don't have a dial whatsoever. All you have is a track that goes around that dial that basically holds the indices. The indices on this version are in purple. There are 2 different versions. There's a GT and then a Stradale, I believe it's called, but I don't remember. And if I'm wrong about that, I will put it down in the comment section and description below. But that minute track, or the track that holds the indices, is finished differently. So there is some slight differences there. It looks almost the same. It's very hard to tell the difference if you're just glancing at it. And there's a couple of other small differences in the movement. That's really it. There's a price difference between the two. This version is on the cheaper side. I believe the other version is slightly more expensive. Again, we'll talk about price in a few seconds. This is COSC certified, as you get from Formex. They do that with a lot of their movements. And then you have an iLink bracelet, which is solid and feels beautifully finished. It is brushed on the top and it is polished on basically every single corner, and the finishing along the entire case. Everything here is beautifully finished. What you would expect from Formex, a company that manufactures for much higher end brands like GP and Bulgari and a few others. So their manufacturer is very, very capable of producing some amazing finished products. And these are really nicely finished and beautifully made. So believe it or not, this is the 41 millimeter version. I thought it was the 39 millimeter version of the Essence because it looks visually smaller because it's in complete black form. So everything is black. Even that movement is really darkened. So everything is darkened here and it looks smaller, visually smaller because of it. This is 41 millimeters. I measured at 40.6 millimeters, 10.7 millimeters thick. You are getting a display case back. You get a sapphire crystal in the front and the back, and it's 10.7 millimeters thick. That is very good. 100 meters of water resistance. You do get a screwed-in crown and a screwed-in case back. 47 millimeters lug to lug. 51 millimeters in change on the bracelet because you do get male end links. Obviously, they will come out with other editions of this in the future. I think this would look amazing with some of their stone dials. Guys, tell me what you would think this would look like with maybe a malachite dial. How awesome would that be? I think it would be pretty phenomenal. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. Very quickly, let me show you the watch that I have on my wrist. On my wrist today is my personal Formex Reef. This is the 300-meter dive watch that they made just a few years ago. It has that removable bezel, which works really well. You just click it right off and you could click it right back on. You can buy a few different color bezels for your watch. It looks great with the green on green. That's why I mainly wear it on that. But I also wear it on the strap pretty often, which is really nice. And you get on-the-fly micro adjust on their straps. You get that on their bracelets. They were really one of the first to put micro adjust in a butterfly clasp as well, which was pretty awesome. Just a great watch that's very thin, 300 meters of water resistance. And there it is on my 7.5-inch wrist. Like I was saying, it does not look like the 41 millimeter version. For some reason, to me, it looks smaller than the 41 millimeter version of the Essence because it is in full black and that bracelet's black. The bezel is black. That dial or lack of dial is darkened. The whole thing looks dark. So it kind of melts away on the wrist. 41 millimeters, I measured 40.6, 47 millimeter lug to lug if you buy this on the strap. I think it's currently not available on a strap. You have to buy the bracelet. And then on the bracelet, it wears like a 51 millimeter, depending on your wrist, of course, because you do have those male end links. 10.7 millimeters thick. It wears very nice and close to the wrist, and it is extremely comfortable. A very good looking watch, in my opinion, and they really are kind of taking a chance here and putting something out there that is very technical, very hard to make, and something that normal brands don't even attempt, because I would imagine the development behind this is very, very expensive and hard to do. So here you go. They did it. And there you go. That purple, those indices that are purple, sort of come through as a greenish blue tone, I would say. The hands are lumed very nicely. The indices are very liberally applied with lume. There is no lume on the second hand. I would like to see a little bit of lume on the second hand, as I always say, because I like to see that my watch is working in the dark. Other than that, I think this is a really good looking watch. For the price, it's an excellent watch because you're getting a lot for your money here. Obviously, that skeletonized movement, full ceramic case, full ceramic bracelet, the on-the-fly micro adjust, which is of course bespoke for this watch. They had to actually make something specifically for this watch and make it fully ceramic, which is really, really hard. The price on this is $4,250. Yes, I think people will say that is expensive, but when you consider what you're getting and how other brands don't offer this, they cannot make this and do not offer it. They are the only brand that offer it with on-the-fly micro adjust. I think that's pretty interesting. And again, a first. Formex, a brand of firsts, and pretty damn cool. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the watch? What do you think of the look of the watch? Do you like something that is fully darkened, fully ceramic? Do you like the skeletonized look? Do you agree with me about a malachite dial? Maybe that could be a WatchChris or Gotham Watch Club special edition. That would be pretty awesome. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. I'll put a link to this watch down in the description below. Check it out if you are interested. And of course, always check out Formex if you are interested in an affordable, good-looking watch like the Reef, which comes in at around $1,500. I mean, you really cannot go wrong with these watches at those prices. They are excellent. This is sort of a little bit higher end watch because you're getting a lot more for that. That bracelet alone probably cost them who knows what to actually manufacture, develop, and all of that stuff. Pretty impressive. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. And that's really it, guys. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I will catch you guys in the next video.